It is Friday, June 3rd of 2022. And this is looking to just be a gorgeous day. Today on Guy's Daily Drive. Bam! And welcome everyone to Guy's Daily Drive for this beautiful, gorgeous Friday. Yeah, I like it. Start of a weekend. And I got stuff going on this weekend. Now, last weekend I picked Tracy up from the airport from her trip to Boise. Weekend before that, I spent some time with Guy and his girlfriend Ashley down in Fredericksburg, and it's looking like either tomorrow or Sunday I'll be doing that again, or we'll be doing that again. Tracy and I will travel down to Fredericksburg and meet up with Guy and his girlfriend, maybe with Peter and Liza also. That would be nice, but it's hard to say what Peter's schedule is going to be like. Excuse me. And he just got back from Florida, so he's not going to be having too much time off anytime soon. He had 6 days off in a row, I think, and that's a significant amount of time off from the kind of job that he has. So hopefully he'll be able to be there, but I'm not anticipating that he will. But it'll be fun to see them. I'm not sure what we're gonna do. Guy and Ashley are saying that they're gonna plan stuff out, and so that works for me. But it's always good to see the kids. You know what else is going on? The end of this month, July 3rd, is the championship game for the USFL. And for those with a relatively, someone's on there, Martin. Hey, Martin. For people that have a relatively short memory, I went down to Birmingham, Alabama for the first games for the USFL. I saw 3 out of 4 of them. The last one had to get moved to Monday because of weather, and I couldn't stay for it. But I did see 3 of them. Well, the championship is coming up. I'm not going to Birmingham for that. That's going to be played at the Hall of Fame Bowl, or Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. The playoffs are going to be there too the week before, but I'm not going for that. I'm just going for the championship game. And I'm going to get together with my good friend Dave and his wife Joyce, who live relatively close to that area, like 20 minutes away. So we've got great seats. Seats are very affordable. So we're gonna be in like the clubhouse, $40 for clubhouse seats. You know, I don't know why at least that part of it isn't sold out. Anyone who's planning on going to the game, get clubhouse seats while you can. Out of the elements. And it's just going to be, you know, I'm anticipating that it's going to be stupid traffic. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm stuck here behind a left-hand turn lane. Okay, well, not much I can do about it now. I should have gotten over in the other lane before I got started doing this. Okay. But that's okay. So that's the weekend of July 3rd. I'm going to leave on a Friday, which is the 1st. Drive to Ohio, spend the Saturday and almost all of Sunday with Dave and his wife Joyce, and then we'll go ahead and we'll go to the game on Sunday. It's at like 7:30 Eastern time. I'm really looking forward to it. And if he's not going to go, I'm going to go. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then that next week, so anyway, I'm taking, I meant to mention this, I'm taking Friday the 1st off, and then I'm taking, well, not really taking it because it's a holiday anyway. July 4th, I'll be driving back from Ohio. And I don't know, excuse me, that's not going to be a whole lot of fun because that's a holiday. So we'll see how well that goes. I'm not looking forward to driving on major highways on the holiday because everyone is moving around. Maybe the high price of gas will keep people home. We'll see. But that very next weekend, which will be the 9th, Saturday the 9th, is a wedding that we're going to down in Richmond. So I'm taking Friday, and what is that? Friday the 8th, I think. And I think that's it. Just Friday the 8th. We're going to drive down to Richmond. Then the wedding is Saturday, and there's a like post-reception brunch on early Sunday, and then we'll drive back. So I'm going to be busy as hell for those 2 weekends. And what it will also mean, unfortunately, is that I won't be able to do the MyMac podcast. I don't know if Dave's internet is going to be up to doing a live cast, but it doesn't really matter. I'm there to spend time with Dave and Joyce and going to the game. So I don't see how, saying, okay, I'm going to take this 2-hour block and do a podcast is going to be any fun for them. So so those 2 weekends I won't be on the MyMac podcast. I'm taking a little time off from work, which that's always a good thing. Peter, speaking of Peter, as I was earlier, he was down in Florida. He and a bunch of his friends go down to Universal Studios pretty much every single year, and they have a good time. And I was actually planning on going, but couldn't for reasons I've described in previous Guys Daily Drives, with Tracy being gone and getting back just too soon before I would have had to have left. And it just wasn't worth the hassle and the potential for not being able to, go ahead, buddy, not being able to make a flight or make a long drive or anything along those lines. So decided against it. I'm still planning on going down to Florida this summer. It's just going to depend on when. Probably won't be in July. Well, maybe, because it's relatively early in July. Probably looking at August, early September for going down to Florida, seeing both my brothers and brothers, kids, and grandnephews, and all the rest of that. And hopefully getting to go to Disney World. I really want to go to Disney World. It's their 50th anniversary. And I actually went the first year they were open. My parents took me the first year they were open for reasons. Not because it was, a trip to Disney World, but because that was where a convention was that my father was attending. What's everybody doing here? Okay. So, but that would be fun to go on the 50th anniversary. I know a couple of my nephew Jeff's kids would like to go, so I would definitely take them, because going by myself to a big family-run theme park is just creepy. And I don't want to be there by myself. I want to make sure I'm there with some kids, so nobody's going to give me the stink eye. What else is going on? It's, there actually is a lot. There's a lot happening right now. We're coming up on the 900th MyMac podcast. I don't know if that would have happened on the 2 weeks that I'm going to be away. I don't know if Gaz is going to want to do the 900th podcast without me. I wouldn't blame him. There we go. Get over this lane, because lane I was in sucks. So there's that. There's lots of there's so much TV I'm enjoying right now. I saw the last episode released so far of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and it was so good. They could have called it Freaky Friday. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but back on previous runs of Star Trek, for the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager, they would actually, instead of it being all angsty and these terrible things are all happening, every once in a while they throw you a curveball and just have a fun episode where there's no like galaxy wide disasters and no one is in danger of dying that they're not going to kill off because it's a main cast member, so they have to be there for the next week. It's where they just do a fun episode, a funny episode. And that's what Star Trek Strange New Worlds was. Episode 5, called Amok Spock, something like that. Spock Amok, which is kind of a callback to a Warner Brothers cartoon called Duck Amuck. That is probably one of the funniest things that Chuck Jones, as a cartoon creator, did while working for Warner Brothers. So good, such a great cartoon. And again, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but if you have Paramount Plus, or if it's a side service through something else, or if you have access to Star Trek Strange New Worlds and you haven't checked it out yet, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It is the best live action Star Trek show that's been on for a very, very long time. And if you're a fan of Discovery or Picard, well, okay, frankly, I didn't particularly care for any of all the way across any of the 4 seasons for Discovery, or really either season for Picard. I mean, they both have their moments where they're good. The biggest problem with both of those shows, and 3rd season of Enterprise as well, is they try to do this like season-long event where everything is, there's all these terrible things are going on, and there's so much angst, and it's like there's just not enough story there. For Enterprise, it was 22, 23 episodes, and for Discovery, it's like 10 plus episodes. And same thing with Picard. It's like, just, if you want to do like multi-part stories, that's fine, but you could have done every single season of Discovery, the main story could have been done in 2 to 3 episodes at most. And they just stretch it out, and they throw in all of this other filler that just doesn't matter. And it's all just filler. You got, here's the main story, but we're going to do this little side plot here that really doesn't have anything to do with anything. But yeah, we just need a story for this week, and it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and it's not super well done. Anyway, so I haven't enjoyed, and I've watched every single one of them because I like to yell at TV, according to my wife. I've watched every single episode of Discovery. I've watched every single episode of both seasons of Picard. And again, if you like that, then cool.
Okay.
You know, I'm glad you like it. It's just not for me. And I hope they do better, because I love Star Trek. And that they just aren't Star Trek, other than in name. Way too much angst, way too much drama, and it just doesn't need it. Just tell a good story. Seriously, that's all you need to do. Tell a good story with interesting characters that don't have these so freaking convoluted origin stories that if the Federation was made up of all of these major characters that had these insane, complicated stories, and they knew about these insane, complicated stories, they wouldn't let them anywhere near a starship. Discovery is a prime example of that. Why would you put someone like Burnham in any kind of position of authority on a Federation starship? Because it just doesn't make any sense. All the things that she had done in that first season, it's like, wow, why would you do that? But they did, and then they gave her a ship. They gave her the ship. Gave her the ship. Okay. And Picard, you know, part of the problem with Picard, and part of the problem with all of these shows, is they ignore so much of what's already been established about these characters. And Picard, Picard, for example, they speak nothing about his brother. That was well established. That was a couple of years older than him, and would have been there during the episodes that they had him as a young boy. No mention, you know, not seen, not heard, not even acknowledged that he existed. They did have the actor that played Baltar in Battlestar Galactica as his father, which, okay, it didn't particularly make any sense to me, since why is he bald, and apparently nobody else in the Picard family, neither his mother nor his father, are bald or have any significant hair loss. But he's bald, probably in his early 20s. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm rambling about at this time, so we're just going to let this go. I'm almost to work anyway. If you want to get a hold of me, you can send me an email, guy@mymac.com, or podcast@vertshark.com. I don't get a whole lot of email at podcast@vertshark.com, so you'll definitely get my attention if you use that email address. I am on the Twitters. I am MacParrot or VertShark over there on the Twitters. My website is vertshark.com, where you can see all of the odds and all of the vids. And if you go on over to YouTube and like, share, subscribe. Did you see it? Like, share, subscribe to the VertShark YouTube channel. You'll see all the vids there, including the snippets I've started doing for the MyMac podcast. I just posted one this morning on Friday, June 3rd. It's a bit long for a snippet. It's 7-8 minutes, but it was really fun. And it was part of the regular show, but it really kind of deserved its own little standout there, just because it was so funny. So I think in the future, what I'll start doing is, after the main podcast is posted on YouTube, I'll start going through and every day put a little snippet in. And it may be, I may eventually tie it back to Patreon or something like that. So, you know, there's some incentive to contribute if you want to. Don't have to. you don't want to. It's cool either way. I've been doing this for so long, and for the most part, on my own dime, and I don't mind. It's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. So that would be patreon.com/MacParrot. That would be coffee, ko-fi.com/MacParrot, or you can pay a pal at paypal.me/MacParrot. I don't think there's anything else, so we're gonna wrap this. Oh, of course, the My Mac podcast I do with Gaz. Some weeks I didn't. This week again.